Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Please keep up with all of these stories, in particular the overarching war story, the depression story, and the fight for an economic recovery at tarpley.net. And remember, indispensable background for understanding all this are the various strategic studies I've done over the years. 9/11 Synthetic Terror Made in USA is a good, relevant one right now, but also Surviving the Cataclysm. And, of course, my two Obama books, Obama, the Postmodern Coup, The Making of a Manchurian Candidate, and Barack H. Obama, The Unauthorized Biography. All of those and others available at tarpley.net. There are new radio interviews from the past week, and there will be more in the coming week covering the WikiLeaks Assange story. I've got to give that one a little bit of short shrift this week because of the volume of the war news. All right, so Obama's talking all options on the table. Last Sunday on one of the Blab shows, Admiral Mullen comes out and says, yes, we have a plan to attack Iran. Now, that would be a plan that had been developed by the U.S. Central Command during the time that Napoleon Bonaparte Petraeus had been running U.S. Central Command. So General Petraeus, king of the neocons, neocon candidate for president on a warmonger ticket, a neocon ticket, drew up the plan. As soon as Mullen said that, we have the Iranian Foreign Minister Mottaki speaking from Moscow saying, don't take any ill-considered actions or you will end up worse than Iraq, worse than Afghanistan. We've got in the background General Hayden, of course, former head of the CIA, making a bid for new jobs, saying it looks to me like the attack on Iran is inexorable. Ahmadinejad essentially confirming the war danger, saying the U.S. is now determined to attack two countries in the next 3 months. Take a look at my online essay there at tarpley.net. Obama is preparing to bomb Iran. That's the 21st of July, well out in front of many others who are now climbing into the fray, which I welcome. I essentially go through the times when we have the new moon, right? No moon in August is August 10th, so 4 or 5 days from when this is being recorded, and then similarly the early part of September and the early part of October. October last chance if you want the October surprise, as Deborsgrov had suggested, right? Obama wants 3 wars, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Iran, all going so that he thinks he can keep both houses of Congress. I don't think that's going to work no matter what he does. Anyway, Obama says 2 countries in the next 3 months. Ehud Barak, visiting Washington last week, asks, what are these 2 countries, I wonder? Yeah, he wonders. Barak gave long interviews where he basically laid out the Israeli aggressive orientation, right, working with ultimata and a complete double standard vis-a-vis Iran. Israel armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons. Iran not allowed to be armed at all. After Mullen spoke, we also have Vitaly Churkin, the UN ambassador of the Russian Federation, objecting to that, saying, look here, we've just passed these sanctions resolutions, but the 4th one, he says, includes language which is even more emphatic, that no military action can be contemplated. And really, the Russians have always said these sanction resolutions are the opposite of an advance towards military force. On the other hand, as they know well, the U.S. sees it in the opposite way. The U.S. sees sanctions as steps towards nuclear, towards military action. So again, the inconsistency of the Russian position, the uncertainty of the Russian position certainly stands out. We had the Iranian Defense Minister Vahidi saying that if the Israelis do anything ill-considered, they will start the countdown to their own annihilation, a very stern statement. We've also got this strange character, Shapiro, saying that the American people, he's left over from the Clinton administration and the big banking Bilderberger honcho, if the Obama administration wants to get back the trust of the American people, which it has now lost, Obama will need a 9/11 event or an Oklahoma City event by November. concerning the National Intelligence Estimate. The new one is in the works. That would be a new NIE that says, oh, my gosh, we were wrong in December 2007. How did we get it so wrong? Iran does have, surprise, surprise, a nuclear weapons program. And as I had predicted, we have this guy Epstein, Edward J. Epstein. This is one of the people who attacked Jim Garrison's investigation into the Kennedy assassination. Epstein says it's Amiri. It's this awful Amiri. He was a double agent. He lied to us. We were listening to him in 2007, and therefore that's why this NIE came out so bad. We've got to correct that immediately and get back to the warmonger path that was interrupted in December 2007. We've got House of Representatives H.R. 1553, a new warmonger resolution passed overwhelmingly there. You've got a continuous stream of articles coming from Krauthammer, coming from Royal Mark Garrecht. We talked about him at the Weekly Standard in the previous week. William Crystal writes his column this week. It's in the Washington Examiner and elsewhere, saying that needs to save his presidency, and at the end of it, he says we have to go on and have military action against Iran, and that will make Obama a successful president, just like Bush. In the meantime, there is no Iraqi government still, and the U.S. is very, very interested in getting the appropriate puppet regime in there with Alawi. That would allow Iraq to be at least hostile towards Iran, at least neutral but unfriendly in the course of all this. Naturally, they'd love to play Iraq against Iran. This is very hard to do after all the destruction. And we have Tariq Aziz, a man of character in much of his action, saying the U.S. is now about to feed Iraq to the wolves, Tariq Aziz. And we repeat our call, free Tariq Aziz. Let this elderly man now, suffering from all kinds of medical conditions, let him out of these concentration camps where the Iraqi government is keeping him. Everybody in the world is now waiting for this Hariri assassination report from a UN panel, and we know how worthless those things are as a search for truth, and how much they are open to the dictation of U.S. aggressors and other aggressors. So they're going to blame Hezbollah. They're going to say Hezbollah are the culprits in the attack on Hariri, and I think that incident along the border was simply a warning from Hezbollah. Don't do that. We've also got the 3 hikers, right? They're still an issue. The 3 so-called hikers who went hiking in Iraqi Kurdistan and then ended up in Iranian Kurdistan, still being held by the Iranians after 1 year. And finally, in the background, the divine plan, right? That the CIA wants to take over the Afghan war, get the conventional forces out, and do that as quickly as you can, says Jack Devine, former deputy head of the CIA. We'll be back in a minute.